12 or 13 of civilization restarts, I kind of over here, where I guess the only Himalayas thing that's left actually has a revolution, because the rulers live down here now. In this world, these guys are named after the Himalayas, because the people who made the country, they migrated from the Himalayas here because they were tribes starting off, and then they settled here, but they're not. That's the only reason, because they're not located close to the Himalayas. Anyway, so because due to this, there's a new thing now called the Indus. No, these guys are the Indus. So because a lot of people are saying how we should actually be called the Indus River Civilization. No, I actually we should be called the there has to be a province in India here that isn't Gujarat. Gujarat is too south, too south. Rajasthan, Rajasthan, Rajasthan is like this. No, that's modern day. We can't do that. I'm just gonna call these guys the Indian Ocean Civilization. Bharat, does that count? Because that's in a different language. No, that counts. I'm still counting that. Um, we'll just okay, okay. They get to be East Indus Civilization, because these guys share the Indus. So the Indus Civilization and then the East Indus Civilization. This actually resonates with a lot of people, especially in the north right here, and then in the south right here, and in the east. Actually, no, that can just be one big claim right here. Now, this is due to these two regions having a significant population that's ethnically of the Indus, so a lot of them want to just kind of join that. And so, okay, we're just gonna call these guys Himalayan Federation, because that's what they are right now. So, but a lot of people don't want that. They want it to be another Indus type thing. So those people want to leave, and then in the north there's just chaos, because they don't want to be a part of this. They just want to be their own thing. And then the rest of the country, there's stuff about changing rulers. So yeah, the country is pretty screwed, I'd say. Eventually the Indus actually takes the moment to invade, which is its first conflict ever fought, and it absolutely demolishes these people, because the only thing that was keeping them from declaring their own independence was the military of the Himalayan Federation. But the Himalayan Federation's military, obviously for them, is really strong because they're civilians, but it's pretty weak on a global standard. So yeah, they're invaded and they are completely wombo combo and destroyed. Um, Eventually a ship that sets sail from here. Is this where Karachi? No, Karachi's over here. I don't. I know this is a significant city, but I don't remember the name. Um, so they make a landing right here, and they quickly capture the capital, um, besiege it, kill a bunch of people, and then forcefully peace treaty. So taking a look at this peace treaty, this is still semi-autonomous, and then this is yeah, the Indus is going to annex both of these regions. Now here's the thing with all of this: the Indus, this doesn't go unnoticed. This goes very noticed, especially by the blue team, who are a little bit frightened, because they kind of thought that no one except for them could rival the Himalayans, so they would just be able to eventually just like stroll in and take everything. No rush. But now there is a rush, because the Indus is clearly seeking to control all of the Indus, all the regions around it, up until like here. So yeah, that gets worse. Meanwhile, Tajikistan finally does stuff. They get a new ruler, and the new ruler he is really patriotic, and he wants this country to expand. So they expand a little bit more this way, still uncontacted by the rest of the world. Some of their like scouts figure out that these guys exist, but they choose to remain mostly hidden. Um, this is due to them kind of realizing they don't really have a chance. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of countries are actually choosing to remain hidden, such as the entirety of the um, eastern world. And well, these guys, Sri Lanka just kind of seals themselves off, but everyone knows they exist. And then Tajikistan, whatnot, doesn't want people to know they exist, and that's pretty much it. These two, they don't have that much diplomatic relations with anyone but themselves and like Balkania, but everyone knows they exist. It's actually kind of Rome. Speaking of Rome, they expand a lot. They expand all the way over here, and now these guys are getting very scared, because Rome's expansion is kind of sneaking up on them. They didn't really expect Rome to be able to do this, because they thought the red team would just kind of colonize it, and then just like what they did at the time in Africa. They colonize and then they just don't really do anything with it. They just kind of leave it there. Obviously, they did stuff now, but at the time. So the foreign policy since those times hasn't really changed, even after Rome took over to kicked out the red team from Italy. So now they're kind of getting screwed. Meanwhile, Venice, they have issues because people here keep leaving the country for better opportunities, mostly into the Mamluks, the blue team. Actually, no, the top places they're leaving to are Alexandria specifically in Mamluk, from where they usually end up leaving to either the Sinai or to the blue team, or directly to the blue team. And then some of them go to Balkania. Now, the placing between the immigration of their immigration rate to the blue team and the Mamluks, even though it's like, oh yeah, it's just first place and second place, it's by a lot. It's by a couple million, 100,000 probably, 100, 300,000, which is doesn't seem like a lot. Maybe it doesn't seem like a lot, but these guys, their entire population is 1 million. More of them live outside of the country than inside of the country, and it's not close how many. The ones in Alexandria seem to mostly be leaving to the blue team or just moving deeper into the Mamluks. But yeah, now the reason for this is because the fishing lifestyle, boating culture thing is the same. Anyway, down here in Somalia, uh, they send scouts to go continue down the African coast. So that's gonna be nice. That's gonna be nice. Meanwhile, I said something about a country, and we were gonna expand on that next episode. What was that? Yeah, these guys. So we're finally gonna expand on them. So now having controlled all this, they quickly hop islands to here, and here they are going to meet these guys. Both are going to settle into this island. And okay, nope, that looks too much like something I don't want it to look like. So we're gonna change the storyline a bit. Two boats just collide here, and then these guys are finally introduced. Quickly, diplomats start exchanging phone calls, I guess. Either way, though, the two become very close. And now comes another thing: an invasion of Korea by the two. Now, this also introduces the Tokian Federation to the rest of the Eastern world. I call it the Eastern world because no one knows about these countries. No one, like literally no one. No one here knows about these guys, but these guys, they kind of, some of those countries know about these guys. The people know about it, but like on a diplomatic scale, most of these countries don't really even address it that much. The only ones who like have it forged into their foreign policy and constitution are the Saigons, whose constitution says that no president can ever um have diplomatic ties with anyone over here, because they're if you remember when they set up their entire thing was because they were scouts that were because the Persians, the red team sent scouts to find stuff in India. They ended off in Bangladesh, where they set up their own country, and then some of those people kept going because they wanted to be even further, and then that's the Saigon, and then obviously even more people just kept going and became the Koreans. But anyway, so the invasion of Korea is launched, and oh my god, this one it destroys things. So it's mostly unexpected, reaches the gates of Seoul, and Seoul is eventually just kind of like cut off, but massive evacuations, and then the Japanese, because they've been working on their navy, but not really. Like their navy's pretty poor, so they're quickly kicked off. And a counter invasion. Obviously, the Qing now hop in, declare war on both these countries, and quickly begin an invasion of Nagasaki, which goes extremely well. And they completely wipe out the island, completely taking control of it. That's gonna hurt. Meanwhile, over here, these guys kind of become a exchange of crossfire place, especially in this in this region where most of this crossfire takes place, as both teams attack each other trying to get the advantage, because whoever can take over this like little region, these guys are not capable of blocking that. This little region will kind of have the upper hand. Eventually, that is the Qing. uh did I name them Qing? I don't know. They're not really. I'm gonna name them Hanoi. I think that's a city in Vietnam. I might be wrong. I feel like I'm wrong, but Hanoi. They're changing their name. They're Hanoi now. I like that name. That sounds nice. Anyway, the invasion begins, and oh my god, does it hurt? Over here, the push is made, and they also captured this, which is the capital. But that's both these are eventually pushed back, and now here is the sad thing. So much as they tried, they can't really hold on to it, and Korea falls twice, 3 times now. 3 times Korea has fallen completely. It's eventually pushed all the way over here, where this region is conquered eventually after a rebellion, and then here a last ditch resort is made to get as many people out of here and into Shanghai as possible, because Shanghai is their second biggest city, and also where they send all the everyone who comes from Korea has to go there first because it's like their largest port. This is way too inland to be a port. Anyway, that is going to be a peace treaty. However, it's not going to be good for the Tokians because even though this um is captured and actually made into a puppet state that has some autonomy, but is mostly just a part of these guys, which is why it doesn't have any which is why it still has that border because the north is just direct territory. This island is also made a part, which these guys don't really like. And eventually he died. The king dies, and there's a new person. There's a queen now, and she appoints 3 more chairmen, and now this is a new system that we have not seen. It's a round table system with the queen slash king in the middle getting the final say. And um yeah, so they actually vote to. It's like the House of Commons, I guess. Either way, they vote to declare prehistoric House of Commons declare war and on the Qing, or I mean on Hanoi. And Hanoi didn't really expect this. I'm gonna call these guys the Shanghai Federation now, and Shanghai in this world is located over here. Now, the Shanghai Federation didn't really expect this to be that soon, and then using the dismay inside of actual Shanghai, um, this region is also captured by the Japanese. Um, I mean, Tokyo. So that's gonna hurt. That's going to hurt a lot because now every migrant worker, all the economy, everything based around Shanghai is now under the control of an enemy. This is followed by another landing right here, which is unsuccessful, successful but unsuccessful because it's successful, but then nothing really comes out of it. However, the peace is already underway, and eventually a peace treaty is signed, and the island is returned to um these guys. Now, Shanghai's fate is it stays a part of these guys because it gets burnt to the ground. However, this small like panhandle thing is given to the Japanese. Now from here, the Japanese also sign a treaty with these guys, allowing them to annex these 2 islands and everyone on them in exchange for recognizing Manchuria's kind of uh um like controversial claims of this region, which they eventually annex, but um the entire population wants to be a part of these guys, so it actually looks like this. I'm just gonna go ahead and color that in too. So that's not really good. Uh, oh, actually, no, not that, not that. They recognize this because remember, no one actually recognizes this because they don't have real control of it. They just kind of went ahead and claimed that. It's not even changing. That border is probably getting much worse as more people continue to go into the capital, which the capital right now hosts about 49% of their population. But then the second thing, Seoul modern day is over here. So Seoul hosts also also 31%. So together they host 80%. The two cities host 80% of the country's entire population, and that's only growing. Over over here in Somalia, they are able to kind of like help the Somalians living inside of this region of the blue team Abyssinia to rebel, which is going to hurt. It's going to hurt, and they actually declare complete independence. Now, the blue team doesn't really care at first until the kind of like appointed mayor, I guess, of these guys, chancellor something, is killed in battle as their de facto capital is rushed, and Abyssinia is launched into a complete stage of rebellions, which are further helped by the blue team kind of not really caring yet. So, these through 2 regions also join in. This is not going to go well. I can already tell. This is not going to go well at all, and this will also be the last thing this video. So, yeah, the blue team does eventually then get involved. They quickly declare war on these guys and move in troops very slowly, and this is the only place where they're able to push in. However, this is a bad thing because these guys are now in a complete blockade by the Somalians. Over here, the push is a lot, kind of. I mean, not really. They just like push all the way here, and then this thing capitulates, which is the end of the rebellion, but not the end of the war itself, because now the Somalians they're still there. Uh, so let me just control Z all of this because the Somalians abandoned this country's recognition too, so they don't exist, and then they also push back from there, but that comes at the cost of being spiked from here, and now they're at risk of losing the entire southern portion. Because the thing is, whenever countries get cut off, like whoever controls this region, if the north is ever cut off from the south will instantly rebel instantly because the south they're not even rebel, they're just going to collapse because they do not have any resources. The ports don't function. I don't know if it's like that in modern day, but there's tsunamis at all times, so you need these roads open just to keep on getting them supplies. Eventually, being this close to losing that and having another front open over here, they sign a peace treaty and are now heavily taxed. I lied. This is not the last thing because these guys sign a truce with these guys. Kind of. That's not really important, but that's the last thing. So the red team and the Iberians are at a truce, not a peace treaty. So this war is technically still going on. It's just a ceasefire for now. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe.